First thing you notice is the atmosphere, the quality of the tables and the chairs. As I came through, they said, "Oh, we got to give you a tour of the place." You know, they showed me around. Whenever you have several details like that, it starts to add up and just creates a better experience.
This place is absolutely gorgeous. I think they did wonderful with the design and everything. It's just very comfortable.
As a server, I'm going to handle all of your needs: food, snacks, coffee. If you bring your own alcohol, we will be here to serve you guys.
It's brand new, as you can see, and I like chargers on the table. That's new for me. Come play. It's going to be a great time.
The building is absolutely gorgeous. It just has a great open area, for people to just hang out, have a good time. The management is focused on just creating a positive experience for everyone.
We're going to have an armed guard at the front, making sure no one brings any weapons in, make it safe for everybody inside.
Their promotions are really starting to bring people in, and as it grows, it's definitely going to compete with the other rooms in the area and probably overtake them.
We have some of the best tournaments going on, some of the best cash games as well.
First thing you notice is the atmosphere, the quality of the tables and the chairs. As I came through, they said, "Oh, we got to give you a tour of the place." You know, they showed me around. Whenever you have several details like that, it starts to add up and just creates a better experience.
This place is absolutely gorgeous. I think they did wonderful with the design and everything. It's just very comfortable.
As a server, I'm going to handle all of your needs: food, snacks, coffee. If you bring your own alcohol, we will be here to serve you guys.
It's brand new, as you can see, and I like chargers on the table. That's new for me. Come play. It's going to be a great time.
The building is absolutely gorgeous. It just has a great open area, for people to just hang out, have a good time. The management is focused on just creating a positive experience for everyone.
We're going to have an armed guard at the front, making sure no one brings any weapons in, make it safe for everybody inside.
Their promotions are really starting to bring people in, and as it grows, it's definitely going to compete with the other rooms in the area and probably overtake them.
We have some of the best tournaments going on, some of the best cash games as well.
First thing you notice is the atmosphere, the quality of the tables and the chairs. As I came through, they said, oh, we got to give you a tour of the place. You know, they showed me around. Whenever you have several details like that, it starts to add up and just creates a better experience.
This place is absolutely gorgeous. I think they did wonderful with the design and everything. It's just very comfortable.
As a server, I am going to handle all of your needs, food, snacks, coffee. If you bring your own alcohol, we will be here to serve you guys.
It's brand new, as you can see, and I like charges on the table. That's new for me. Come play. It's going to be a great time.
The building is absolutely gorgeous. It just has a great open area, for people to just hang out, have a good time. The management is focused on just creating a positive experience for everyone.
We're going to have an armed guard at the front, making sure no one brings any weapons in, make it safe for everybody inside.
Their promotions are really starting to bring people in, and as it grows, it's definitely going to compete with the other rooms in the area and probably overtake them.
We have some of the best tournaments going on, some of the best cash games as well.
First thing you notice is the atmosphere, the quality of the tables and the chairs. As I came through, they said, oh, we got to give you a tour of the place. You know, they showed me around. Whenever you have several details like that, it starts to add up and just creates a better experience.
This place is absolutely gorgeous. I think they did wonderful with the design and everything. It's just very comfortable.
As a server, I am going to handle all of your needs, food, snacks, coffee. If you bring your own alcohol, we will be here to serve you guys.
It's brand new, as you can see, and I like charges on the table. That's new for me. Come play. It's going to be a great time.
The building is absolutely gorgeous. It just has a great open area, for people to just hang out, have a good time. The management is focused on just creating a positive experience for everyone.
We're going to have an armed guard at the front, making sure no one brings any weapons in, make it safe for everybody inside.
Their promotions are really starting to bring people in, and as it grows, it's definitely going to compete with the other rooms in the area and probably overtake them.
We have some of the best tournaments going on, some of the best cash games as well.
Good afternoon. My name is Craig. We are coming live from a Poker House of Dallas here in dynamic Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon. Again, we apologize for the delay in regards on this afternoon stream. You initially know technical difficulties do come up once in a while, but again, we thank you for your patience. But this is day 5, or day 1E. Of the inaugural $250,000 Poker House Freeroll tournament here. If anything, we're gonna just be just a moment as we bring up our feature table of the afternoon. As you can see, today we had 79 entrants, and for this flight, and here we go. We are coming in right now on level 6, where blinds are 300, 600, 600, meaning 300 small blind, 600 big blind with a 600 big blind ante. Players are just getting animated, getting filled out in the process. Again, this is a multi-level, one-day tournament for those that are in the Dallas area, or you plan on coming in the Dallas area. All it takes is a membership to be able to Poker House of Dallas for you to be able to be a part of this. We still have 3 days of day ones for you to have a chance to come in and get a shot at this $250,000 prize pool. There's some bigger poker tournaments that have bigger buy-ins that don't have this kind of prize pool for you. So obviously, when you get a chance, come on down to the Poker House of Dallas, become a member. We have excellent, high-quality games here in all amounts and all disciplines. We have an excellent atmosphere with our floor, with our dynamic dealers, with our wait staff. Obviously, we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and to give you a chance to be able to take advantage of all the things that are involved within our location for you. People are just we got the members of our feature table just getting animated. Again, also, if you have any questions that you would like to be through any of our social media platforms, whether it be on Twitter, Twitch, or Facebook, by all means, my name is Craig, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you as our players get ready, get set, and going into the break. Or excuse me, coming out of the break. Again, if anything, this is day 1E of this tournament, and obviously, if you have a chance, if you know, like most tournaments like this, being on the TV table, a lot of people, there is some slightness on whether or not they want to be a part of it. There's some questions. A lot of people, this is their first chance, I guess you could be under the spotlight, under a some regards television table, or in this case, a live stream table. So, most people are used to it. They've either played in other atmospheres where bigger high stakes games, or just being a solid tournament, playing a lot of solid tournaments within the area. But to most people, this is just going to get their feel out, get everything set. And again, if you have any questions for me while we're getting ready to get the action going, my name is Craig. Be more than happy to answer and respond to any comments. Again, we thank you again for being able to come live with us as we get ready to start up this next level of the tournament. From the looks of it, from what I can see, we have a number of both seasoned players to the room, also a lot of seasoned tournament players. So, if anything, this should be an interesting dynamic of a live stream table as we come into play. And here we go. Again, the blinds are going to be 300, 600 to 600 big blind ante here we go. Cards are coming out, and look at this. If anything, we are in the +1 speed. Big hand off the flop with pocket kings. Out the gate first hand, and he's going to raise it up immediately with the pocket kings. Going to raise it up to 2,000 to go. Action's going to be folded across, and it may look against all the other hands that it may be a raise and take it with the kings.
9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Steve Turner's got 7, 8 offsuit, but it looks like the 6 deuce is going to fold as well. So it's going to raise and take it with these pocket kings. As you can see, ladies, and these are our future table chip counts here. You got JR on top with with 101 bigs. It's going to be spread across the board all the way down. Even our low stack still has over 30 bigs, which is a lot of play in this tournament. We have one of our fabulous dealers, Renee, that's dealing right now. Hands coming out. We got Chris in the one spot with a suited one gapper. He's going to fold. Michael, who's a frequent player, he's going to fold the 8-4. It's going to get folded out. We got Matthew that folds the ace-8.
6, call.
And we got a call with Steve with king 3 suited. Saul has the option king 10, and we're going to see a flop. The flop is going to come down at 9-2, king 2 spades. Both a flop top pair with Saul with the bigger kicker. Steve's going to lead out and bet 2,000. Saul with the smooth call. Here comes the turn.
Two players.
It's a jack of spades, which now gives Saul both straight and flush draws, but they both check. And the river is deuce, so if this checks across, this is going to be a chop pot. But Steve's going to lead out. it looks like it's going to be a chop pot between the two. They're going to play the kings. They're going to play the kings and the deuces, and the jack kicker will play. Not surprised, honestly, that Saul would probably take a bigger stab with it, knowing that he picked up a straight and flush draw when the jack hit. Again, we got our chip count here. We got JR with 101 bigs. Even with Chuck sitting with 33 bigs as the short stack, there's still a lot of play. A lot of hands can be made, and trust me, a chip leader can go into his short stack in just a moment. Next hand out, we got Michael that's going to be under the gun with first act. Looks down at 8-4. Well, Matthew he's got ace queen.
9 falls.
Got Chuck about there with suited ace 10.
Number 1, raise up 1500.
He's going to raise it up to 1500.
3 falls. 4 falls. 5
Matthew Shelley, that is a typo, laying down ace queen.
6 call. 7 falls.
And we got Steve on the button with ace jack that's going to call. Big Bad looking down with ace 6. He's going to realize he's getting about 3-1, but he's going to fold this. So we got Chuck and Steve going to the flop. The flop comes down 7-3-6 rainbow. Usually in situations like this, when ace doesn't hit the board, the first person who usually bets out will take the pot. But he's going to call that down with the ace jack high. Turn is 8, no help to either play. Actually, you'll take it back. Chuck does pick up a straight draw. 9 would give him a straight.
Number 1 bet 2000.
Leads out, bets for 2,000.
1600. 6 falls.
And he's going to lay it down. In most cases, aggressive betting poker is winning poker. I can understand when you have four low cards and you're sitting there with ace jack, and you with a short stack. Typically, you tend not to want to take too many chances under the circumstances here. But if it's a more of the point of being able to take it, basically to absorb and realize there's a lot of time, there's a lot of play. You're going to be able to wait for a better spot to make your move with the chips that you have. Moving on again to the next hand, I know Smokey is running late for us, but if you do have any questions in regards to the area, by all means, I will gladly be able to help. Matt Lito, thank you, man. I greatly appreciate it. This is actually my debut stream for Poker House of Dallas. I also do work here as a dealer, and I do enjoy it, but I did have a passion to be able to try to put on the headset and come in and try to and definitely be able to describe for these people. So again, Matt, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it, man. Next hand's going out. We're going to have Chuck under the gun. Chuck looking down at an offsuit paint, king, queen off.
Number 1 call, number 2 falls, number 3 falls.
That's Sean with a suited ace.
1500. Number 1. Number 4. Wait. See number 1 raise 1500? Yes. So back up all the action. All right, hold on a second. See number 1 raises 1500.
Got a little stop and go in that. We got Chuck that raises it up to 1500. Sean with the ace set with the suited ace will call. JR with ace jack in the hijack seat is gonna call. Oh wow, but look at this on the button. Saul with pocket kings with the 3-bet to 10,000. Obviously the rule is, I like to say, even old school poker with a big pocket pair, you need to play them strong and aggressive. He's going to come back to Chuck with King Queen. Now he's thinking of it. I think he's just going to, he lays it down. The question is, honestly, are they going to take him seriously with that, or are they going to, because he's paying position? But it looks like they're going to lay this down. And again, the power of position in poker, especially in tournaments, he's gonna pick up a lot of blinds and antes off that move. Again, to recap, we got a little over 20 minutes left in this level. Here are your updated chip counts in regards on blinds. We got Renee as our experienced dealer. From what I've been known about Renee says he's been in this industry for over 30 years, and he started out in some of the casinos and card rooms out in California. But we're glad to have him here in the great state of Texas. Next hand coming up. It's going to be on Matt with the 7-11, Jack 7. He's going to fold. Sean's got King 3.
6 folds.
Steve with an ace.
But 8 raise total or 1900.
Small blind's got a pocket pair with the 4s.
9 call. See number 1 folds.
So you got the button with King 5 raising a position, and you got the small blind with a pocket pair. Makes the call. Flop comes 8, 6, 9, 2 hearts. Chris does have a straight draw.
Check. Let 8 bet. Sorry, or 2300.
Michael with the pocket pair is going to lead out for 2300.
Number 9 falls. Number 9 check.
And that's going to be fold. The Fords are going to take down the pot.
New dealer. Card over there. Yeah. Can you sign it and then put it back over here so they don't have to do it?
Again, obviously, if you have any questions or comments, I'd be more than happy to answer for you. As we make a dealer change, obviously, we go from the fabulous Renee to one of, in my opinion, one of Dallas's, and we're proud to have one of Poker House's mainstay, Bugsy. Bugsy is going to be coming into the box for you to be the dealer for a little bit. Bugsy is a character, but obviously he's one of our finest. Honestly, like I say, it's the train wreck you love to hate, or in some cases hate to love, depending if you're playing at his table. So either way, we got Bugsy in the box. Got being able to peel off some cards for you as we go to this next hand. Again, we're at 300, 600 blind with 600 big blind ante.
We gotta give the stream show, right? I'm sorry.
As you can see, that's Eric, Eric who in the background. It gets folded around. It's gonna get folded around to Steve with the ace-7.
C8 calls. C9 calls. C1 completes.
You say 2 checks? Okay, I didn't see cards.
And we have 6 players to the flop. Flop comes down King, Queen, 7 right now. Steve does take the lead with the 7s.
C1 check, C2 check. C5 check, C6 check.
Looks like they're going to check it around.
C8 bets 1900.
And,
C9 fold.
and Chris with the 7th is going to take a stab at the pot.
C1 check, C2 check. C2 folds.
Chad folds the straight draw. Back to Steve with the 7 with the top kicker.
C6 calls.
Now remember the broom cards, don't put them over that flop.
C9 fold.
Going to the turn.
Heads up action.
It's an 8.
C6 check, C8 check.
They both check, and the river, it's a queen that pairs the board, so if this goes to showdown, Steve's going to win this with the ace kicker with the 7s. But it looks like he's going to try to go ahead and take this pot without getting the showdown. Leads out for 2,500. Bet a little over quarter pot. got Chris sitting here going, he's got a pair of sevens. He missed a straight draw with this. Is it enough to call? No. He's going to lay it down. Steve's going to win this pot. Again, obviously, these are the levels that we're at right now. Average chip count for the tournament right now is a little over 32,000. We had 79 entrants in today for our day 5, which I believe for the 5 days will put us, I believe it's somewhere over 430 players right now. With 3 more initial days to go. So everyone, you do have time. Come on down, get a membership. Membership will get you into this. And believe me, a $250,000 free roll is nothing to swipe at. Going on to the next hand, it's going to get folded around. Chris with the suited ace 4. Michael has king 9, but look at Chuck. Chuck on the button with the ladies, pocket queens. Gonna make a big re-raise. Making it 3,700 to go. Chad and Matthew's gonna fold. It's gonna go back to Michael. It's gonna cost him another 2,200 in order to play this king 9. And he's gonna call it down. So we're gonna see a flop. King 9 for Michael. 2 queens for Chuck. And the flop comes 6, ace 3, 2 hearts. That is going to be a scare flop for the queens. But he's going to lead out. Michael's going to take the conservative approach. I think he's going to go ahead and fold. And those queens are going to hold up. If anything, here again we got a chip count for you in regards to the blinds. You got JR sitting on top with 98 bigs. Michael's trying to make some plays, but honestly, he's been caught up going. I mean, there's been a lot of big pocket pairs in the early stages of this level. Actually, going to be on JR. He's got king 5, and he's going to probably fold lay this down. Actually, on Steve, he's going to make a marginal raise up to 1,500 with king 10 off. It's going to get folded across. Chuck does have an ace in the cutoff. Lays that down. You got Matt with ace 7. And Sean with connectors with 6-7. He's going to make the call. Here's the flop. The flop comes down 10-6-4. Both of it get a piece. Steve has top pair. Sean has second pair. Steve with the top pair with a king kicker is going to lead up for 3,500. Sean's going to lay that down. Sean, it looks like Sean is a very active player. He's been entering in a lot of pots, trying to take advantage of his late position. Looks like he has, if it's anything, between the corner seats on the 1 or 9, we have some conservative players, but they know that when they get the big pocket pairs, they are making strong moves, which is what as opposed to trapping. If anyone has watched the live streams from previous, some people that tried to play the big pocket players slow to try to accumulate more chips have run into trouble with it.
The C6 bolts.
As we go on to the next hand, Saul's got ace 5 from the fold. Looks like it's going to get folded around again.
Yes.
Chuck in the hijack with ace 8 off. Looks like he's going to make a raise.
C1 raises to 1,700.
Going to raise up 1,700.
C2.
Chad's going to fold. Matthew's got a suit jack. He's going to fold.
C1.
And with the computer hand, he's going to lay that down. JR in the 5 seat, I know how he is an avid Sheldon. being obviously, and that's obviously the car manufacturer Shelby and Carroll Shelby, who's known for making. He has as one of his car protectors a smaller version of a Shelby Cobra. Which any of you car guys knows those were fast cars when they were made, even then and now. As we go to the next hand, action's on Saul. It's going to get folded around.
C2 races 2200. 3 folds.
Chad is going to race with 10-7 suited, but he's going to run into it because on the button, Sean has pocket kings.
C4 re-raises 7200.
And he makes the big re-raise. He's going to make it 7200 to go. And it's going to go back to Chad. Anybody knows this was the 10-7 was the hand that won the World Series of Poker main event, but having to go up against kings and you are out of position, knowing you have just over maybe about 25 bigs, I'm not really sure if you want to make that play. And he makes the smart lay down. Big pocket pairs that have shown up on the live stream so far. I mean, statistically, you're only going to get a pocket pair once out every 17 hands. But if anything, you got to play them aggressive, as most of these players are aware of. You got JR Steady with 95 bigs. Same with Saul Matthew. The rest of the field, they're kind of going up. They're kind of going up and down steady. But Mike still has fallen below 30 bigs. But you never know when it happens. One doubler can change all that. Action is going to be on Chris. He's got the Doyle Brunson 10 deuce suited. He's going to lay it down. It's going to get folded. It seems like it's going to get folded across to, I believe Chad's got a suited ace 10. He's going to make the raise to 2300. Sean's got 9-7. Jared's got king 6, but he got. And looks like Saul's going to lay that down, and it's going to be a raise and take it to Chad. If anything, we are still in level 7. Here's our count by the blinds. JR still being our chip leader at the feature table with 95 bigs. Michael has fallen below 30 bigs, but anything can happen.
No aces. No, just deuce 3.
Going on to the next hand right here. We got. Looks like it's we got Chuck with a suited connector, 7-6 of clubs.
C1 raises 1400.
Looks like he changed up his game and is going to play the suited connector. Going to get folded around. You got Sean with queen 10 of diamonds.
C4 call. C5
He's going to make the call, 1400.
6 folds.
Steve's going to lay this down. Oh, wow. But Saul has woken up with pocket jacks in the small blind and makes the 3-bet to 6,500. I believe this is like the second big pocket pair that he's woken up with this live stream. Chuck's going to fold. Now Sean with the queen 10, he's going to lay this down. Lots of big pocket pairs that have come Saul's way. They accumulate some chips so far early in this level. Again, anybody, we thank you for taking your afternoon amongst everything you got going on today to be able to tune into a live stream again. My name is Craig. I work here at the Poker House of Dallas, and I'm proud to be a part of this team. And I know you typically, I guess, in the first part of our live stream, you would have heard the amazing Smokey Brown himself, but I know he is just running a little bit late. You know, Smokey, if you know Smokey like that, he has a lot of things going on, but he's happy to be able to let me have the reins to start off the stream. We're going on to our next hand. Chuck's going to be under the gun here with a 1-gapper. Matt's got queen 9 of diamonds to lay this down, but I think it's going to get to Saul on the button, but with pocket 10s. I believe this is the third big pocket pair he has woken up with so far in this live stream. He's going to make it 2,200 to go. And it looks like the small and big blind look like they're not going to have much to call with, but got Chris posturing a little bit with Jack Deuce. He's going to lay that down. Michael and he's going to lay it down. And he shows the table, and Saul shows the table the pocket tens. This is, I believe that's like the third big pocket pair that he's woken up with this stream. Obviously, he's been able to play in late position. He's made all these raises, and no one's really taken him down. So he's been able to scoop up a lot of blinds and antes that way. Moving on to the next hand here, it's going to be Chad under the gun. Oh, we got Chad with a big suited connector, Jack 10 of diamonds. He's going to pay a limp in. You got a lot of people, you got a lot of other players, and you got some marginal holdings. You got Steve with King Queen of diamonds. He's going to make a raise. It looks like it's gonna fold around back to Chad. He's gonna smooth call this with Jack 10 of diamonds. Oh, if it comes all diamonds, this could get weird. The flop comes 8-8-6, help to neither player. They both check. The turn is a 5 of clubs. They both check. Here's the river. It's a 3, and if it checks accordingly, the king high is going to take it. Chad's going to have it. They both check, and it looks like the king high is going to take it down. Again, thank you again for tuning in, guys. Again, this is the inaugural 250,000 free roll. This is day 1E. We still have 3 starting days of this, so believe me, it doesn't take much, ladies and gentlemen. Just literally come on down, get a membership. We have lovely hosts at the door. They'll be able to help you get a membership, be able to get some time in, maybe want to maybe sit down in one of our dynamic cash games. Also, aside from this one, we got tournaments going on during the week almost every day. So be able to come on down Poker House Dallas. Again, the address is 1676 Regal Row off of 35 that leads in and out of downtown Dallas. Going on to our next hand, Saul's got the hammer, 7 deuce. Is he going to make a play with this? Again, to most people, you're not aware of it, 7 deuce is the worst hand in poker, but he's going to make a play with this, making it to 1800. Chad's got ace jack, but look at this. You got Chuck with pocket sixes and Chad with ace jack. Saul was trying to step out of line with the 7 deuce again. 7 deuce is the worst hand. And most players that play like cash game, they usually play the 7 deuce game where you can win a pot with 7 deuce, you win some money off of this. But the flop comes down 4-3 queen. Now the sixes are still ahead, but will Saul take advantage of his position in the hijack? It looks like he's going to make it 3,000 to go with, yes folks, 7 deuce. But Chuck is not believing him. He's going to call him down with the sixes. The Jack is going to fold. We go to the turn. Oh, and ace. Wow. Chad is not going to like himself knowing he laid down top pair. But Chuck's going to check. Is Saul going to fire another barrel at the 7 deuce? No, but here comes the river. It does give him a straight draw and the 10 on the river. So if it holds sight, Chuck's sixes are going to win this pot. Chuck checks. Will Saul fire the second? Will fire another barrel at this? He does. He's going to fire another barrel, and with 3 overcards, he's going to lay the sixes down. Ladies and gentlemen, that tells you right now, sometimes it's not about the cards, it's the player. And he took his player for it, being that Chuck has been a very solid, tight, conservative player. And so with him seeing 3 overcards against his underpair, he read his man for not having one of them, and he used position to win the pot. And we move on to the next hand. Sean's going to be under the gun. And wow, he has woken up with the big duke. He's got ace king suited under the gun. Pretty sure he's going to come out with a raise with this.
C4 raises 1,800.
He's going to make this 1,800 to go, but It's going to get folded around, and Chris has ace jack. We could see fireworks this hand, ladies and gentlemen. You got two big aces,
C8 calls, C9
and he's going to smooth call with the ace jack.
C2 folds, C5 folds, C3 folds. Clear heads up, gentlemen.
And we're going to be heads up with two big aces. Here we go to the flop. The flop reads 9-3-7 all spades. Chris does have the jack of spades, but Sean's going to lead out. It's going to make it 3,000 to go. John does have a jack of spades, so Eddie's will give him the best hand. But this call ripper does represent about 15% of his remaining chips.
C8 calls.
But he makes the call anyway. Here we go to the turn, and the turn, it's...
So, you did the burn again. What was the bet?
Oh, I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I do apologize, Rita. I think we did have a slight glitch with the deck, but we're both have actually flop top pair. The turn is now a 5, which means Sean with his ace with the king kicker he's gonna lead out for 11,000. He bets full pot. Now, obviously, this is now a big decision for Chris, because if he makes this call, it will leave him with less than 8,000 left. And he lays it down. That is a disciplined lay down, ladies and gentlemen. It is hard to lay down top pair with a jack kicker with that board. But yeah, knowing that, but you realizing with that, he was only going to have less than a little over 8,000 left, folks, which means if the jack does not come on the river, he's got one bet left, and he's going to leave him short stack in the tournament. As we come to our chip count, you can see, aside from those big pocket pairs, Saul has taken the chip lead at our feature table. Saul's advancement to the chip lead has also shown that a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill can carry you through all these tournaments. As we move on, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot of big hands this end. We got JR here with ace queen under the gun. He's going to make the raise to 1,800. Saul's got Kojak. He's got king jack. He lays it down. And Chris has ace king.
C8 raises to 4,000.
He makes the 3 bet up to 4,000. It's going to get folded across. I believe it's going to go to JR. And JR with his chips, I think he's just going to I think he may just set them all in. Oh, he's just going to smooth call this. So we got two big aces going to the flop. The flop comes down 5, 4, 9, 2 diamonds. Action's going to be on JR. He checks. And Chris checks back. The turn is a deuce. That gives both gentlemen a straight draw. JR checks. Chris is going to check. The river. Oh, snap. The river is a king. JR is going to check now. Obviously, Chris is going to try to get some value out of this, but knowing his ace queen is not going to pan out, he's going to lay this down. Chris has got real fortunate that he was able to get the check, both the flop and the turn, to get to it, to make top pair on the river, and take down some very much needed chips. After the previous hand where even the previous ace jack hand, this was a very necessary pot he needed to take. Again, Saul, the new chip leader at our final table. JR is still in second. We go to the next hand here. We got Steve that's going to be under the gun.
It has been 488. 400, 800,
Also, we are into level 8 now. Blinds are going to be 400, 800, and 800 Big Blind Annie. What does that translate, folks? That means it is going to cost each of these players 2,000 chips a round. And being the fact that the low man on this list has about 30 bigs. You have to kind of be able to make conservative and aggressive at the same time in order to make these plays. Steve under the gun with an ace-5 is going to fold. You got Saul with jack-8. Fold. It's going to get folded around. You got Michael with king-10 of spades. He's going to make it 2,000 to go. It's going to get folded around. Matthew here, he's got a big suited connector with queen and jack of hearts. So here we go to the flop between Michael and Matthew. Here's the flop. Oh, wow. We got fireworks here. You have Michael with top 2 pair. You have Matthew with an open end straight draw. And they check. The board pair of 6s.
You burn that card. Never mind, got it too close. Yep. C9 bets, 4,000.
Oh, I do apologize. It's a 5. You know, it's the technology with these RFD cards, but literally we got top 2 pair versus an open end straight draw still. Here comes the river. Oh, so I'm sorry. Looks like the queen jack folded, and Michael was going to take the pot. Again, we are at level 8 in the $250,000 free roll. That's right, folks. A $250,000 free roll. There are some actual money tournaments that don't have this big of a prize pool. That's what come on down to Poker House. Become a member. Honestly, we have good quality games. We have excellent service. We have wonderful dealers. Like example, we got one of our dealers, Bugsy, who I think has been around for poker since poker was even thought of. Going on to our next hand, we're gonna have Saul under the gun, and he's got 2 3s. He's gonna smooth call this, and it's gonna get folded around. You got Sean on the button with Jack 9 off.
C4 calls.
He calls. You got
C5 calls.
JR with King Queen. And we're going to see it 4 ways. Here comes the flop. The flop comes Queen 6 deuce. Okay, so you got JR with top pair. You have Steve with second pair. JR is going to lead out for 2,000. Steve with second pair folds. Saul, he's now going to have to fold the 2 3s. And you got Sean with just jack high. He's going to lay this down. And JR is going to win another pot. Basically, a lot of the players, they're kind of just taking it all in stride. The last thing you want to do, and in this level of the tournament, knowing that typically from what I've been told, we're going to each day we're going to play down until we have, I believe, 15% of the field that will go on to day 2. With 79 entrants, I believe if I'm not mistaken, we may take probably 12 people to day 2. So, and I believe at day 2 with this is a min cash. So each hand is essentially important in regards on being able to make the next step into day 2, where anything can happen going into day 3 and into the final table. Going on to the next hand, we got Michael with Jack 10. He's going to make the raise with a connector to 2,000. Chuck folds the 10-9 of diamonds. It's going to get folded across. You got Steve with King Queen, though. He's going to call. Saul's going to lay it on the 9 deuce. You got Chris with a suited connector, 6-7 of hearts. He's going to call. We're going to take 3 to the flop. And the flop, oh wow, the flop reads Queen, Ace, Queen. Turner has flopped 3 queens. And he checks. The turn on the 6 does give Chris a pair of 6s. Michael does have a straight draw. King would give him a straight, but it would give Steve a full house. Steve's going to lead out and bet 4,000. He pretty much has as you can see by the check pot, he does have this pot won as long as no one. It looks like it's going to get folded to him. Michael with the inside straight die, he's going to lay this down. And Steve with the trick queens is going to win this pot.
Mike, you're going to be big blind?
What?
If people complain, you got to leave.
Big ass make it high.
As we take a look at our chip count, there has been some parity about it. Saul that had about 108 bigs now has about 78, but it's because of the blind level going up. So our last blind level it was 2,000 every. It was last blind level it was 1,500 every round. Now it's going to cost each player 2,000 every round. Chuck's going to be under the gun, but he's going to wake with a big hand. He's got ace-jack suited under the gun. He's going to make the raise to 2,000, and it looks like from the other holdings, it may get folded up. It may get folded across it. He may take this down. Sal's got 8-4. Michael Franklin's got San Francisco 49, and he's going to lay this down. And it's going to be a raise and take it for Chuck. Again, everybody, if you have any questions among any of the streams, by all means, I'll be more than happy to ask them, whether it be about poker, whether it be about Dallas, whether it be about location. If you have any questions about membership, if you have any questions about dealing, by all means, I can multitask with this. Be more than happy to answer any questions for you. Again, thank you for tuning in to our live stream of day 1E of our free roll. We're going to go back to action here. Chad's going to make it 3,500 to go with ace 4 of suited. It's going to get folded around. You got Michael with king, queen, and he's got a decision. He's sitting there now with under 10 big blinds, and he's gonna call. Here comes the flop.
C9 check. C2 bet 6,000. 7 diamonds, 5 diamonds, 7 clubs. C9 folds on the working 5.
That's going to be a fold. I'm sorry, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't see a flop. Oh, there we go. We had to lay with it. It came 5-7-70, and then Steve's going to take it down.
Also, like you mentioned it, these are fragile cards, so be careful with them. There's any of them.
Eric letting know our players and as well as our dealer that are the cards again that are being able to see this are RFID cards. They have the ability, because of our specially designed table and these specially designed cards, to be able to read the cards. That way we can provide you with that same television experience as you can see and seen on the WPT or on the World Series Poker. And we're glad to bring it to you. Here we go into our next hand. We got Matthew under the gun that's got King 7 suited of clubs.
C3 folds.
He's going to lay this down.
C4 folds, C5 folds, C6 folds.
Make it fold across. But you got Saul here. He's been one of the more active players at the table. He's got a big suited connector with Queen Jack of diamonds.
C7
His cutoff.
2,000.
He's going to make it 2,000 to go. Michael's got King 6 of spades. He's going to call this down.
C1 folds.
Chuck in with 7-3 off. Chad's got the 4 deuces of hearts. He's going to
3
fold.
players to the flop.
You got now it'll be Saul and Michael going to the flop. And the flop comes 4 King 8. Uh-oh. Michael's got a little over a pot and a half bet left. He may just put it all in.
C9 bets 5,000.
Oh, he bets 5,000. He bets half his stack. Chad with bottom pair. He's going to lay this down. Saul's going to has a couple backdoor draws, but so far the Kings are ahead. He's going to fold. Michael's going to win this pot. Those were some much necessary chips. Again, Michael has just a little over 24,000. That's a little more than about 20 or so. You guys can see 20 big blinds. So he's on that danger level where you may need to take a pot and take a stand. But we got a dealer change over from our beloved Bugsy to Bob. I have to remember because amongst all the wonderful personnel we have here at the Poker House of Dallas, we have both a Bob and a Bobby and a Robert. I know it may get confusing, but oh yes, I got a question right here. What are the blind levels if we max late reg before registration closes? I know we can have a 25 stack with add-on. Thanks. Well, absolutely, Sammy. Typically, the blinds have been in 30-minute increments, and registration is open for 3 hours. So I believe our blinds start off at 100, 100 at level 1. So I believe by 3 hours, when we go into 3 hours, it will go. I believe it should only be at, 300, 500, 500 by level 6.
4 folds, 5 folds?
Yeah, we'll be at 300, 500, 300 small blind, 500 big blind with 500 big blind ante by level 6. So even with the 25,000 starting stack, you would still have 50 big blinds coming into it if you did late reg. Again, thank you for that question. That's another thing, folks. We got 3 hours of we got 3 hour registration. If you want to come in, if you can't make it in at 12, you can register up to 3 o'clock and be able to come in into the tournament. We got action here with the King 4-7 flop. You got Michael, that's flop bottom pair. You got Chad that has 9 high. You got Matthew with 8 high. And honestly, Michael being able to take advantage of his being the fact he let out. Sometimes he's got to lead out to take the pot. And these are valuable chips. Michael being the most low stack at our feature table. Again, blinds are 400, 800, 800. We still got 36 players up at the 79 we started. It looks, I believe by the numbers, we will play down to 12. And those 12 people will advance on to day 2. As you can see, Michael's won some solid pots, and now Chuck is going to be the the short stack at the table. But again, he still has 25 bigs. He still has a little bit of play and ability to be able to kind of make some plays to be able to gather some more chips. Sometimes just picking up a big hand or picking up the right pot, being able to make that right play, be able to get you the blinds and antes that's going to keep you in the tournament. We got Bob dealing out the next hand. Action's going to be on Junior to go. He's got 10-3. He's going to fold. And from the looks of it, it may get folded around to Chuck. That's sitting with ace-10 in the cutoff. Michael calls with a 3-gapper with 9-6 of clubs. Chuck is going to make a raise with the ace-10. Personally, not my favorite hand ever. But he's going to make it 3,200 to go. Chad's got Kojak, King Jack of Spades. He's going to call. No, he raises. He's going to 3-bet this with 8,500. So for Michael, it could be all in the call, but it's going to be back to Chuck. For William, it says, I probably played up there about 10 hours. Does that qualify me for the free roll? William, absolutely it qualified you from the free roll. I believe we still have 3 more day ones. All you'll need to do is, they start at 12, the free roll starts at 12 o'clock. You have 3 hours of registration. You can come up to the room. You come register for the tournament. They'll be able to pull up from your membership card, and if you want to do any add-ons or mega add-ons with it, you are more than able to. But this is going to be a big hand here. We got Chuck with top pair. You got Chad with a straight draw and the nut flush draw. Oh, we got an all-in and a call. Ladies and gentlemen, you got Chuck with top pair. You got Chad with a straight draw and the nut flush draw. The turns of 5. River. It's a queen. Wow, we're going to have aces and queens are going to take that pot, and Chuck is going to double through Chad. That is going to hurt, ladies and gentlemen. This was a 43,000 chip pot. That decimated his stack. That's going to take 80% of the stack. He's going to have a little over 7,000 chips left. And as you can see, the VPIP here, you got Chuck, Chad, and Michael that's gonna both with that are tied with a very high VPIP in regards on hands of the table. Thank you, Mark. We greatly appreciate that, man. William as well too. Again, if you have any other questions regarding the free roll, regards the poker house, regards of any of our games, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I've dealt most of them, so by all means, we'll be more able to accommodate and help you out with that. But for Chad, that was a very big hand. It took 80% of his stack. I don't blame him to make that play. Well, obviously, with the straight draw and the nut flush draw, we had a lot of cards that help him on 2 different levels. But that's going to decimate him. He has a little over 7,000 in the stack, so he has less than 5 big blinds. Excuse me. He has less than 10 big blinds to be able to make a play. Action's going to be on Steve underneath the gun. He's got King 9. It's good. Look, it looks like it's going to get folded around.
I don't know if you can see it.
It's going to get folded around the Chuck. Chuck has King Queen in the hijack. He's going to make a raise. Chad's going to lay down the 4-3, and it may look like Chuck with the King Queen may take this down. Both the small and the big are going to fold. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we were just talking about it. Chuck was the short stack at the table, gets into a big hand where his aces hold up, and all of a sudden he's going to be in the middle of the level of the chip count, and Chad is going to be decimated with a little over 7,000. As we go again, Chad has 8 big blind. He has 7,100, and it's going to take. He's going to be able to have to be very patient with these levels going forward with this. With only 8 big blinds, knowing that once this level goes up, he'll have even less. So it's going to be he's going to have to pick a hand and take a stand. Moving along, we got Saul underneath the gun. He's got Queen 7. I've got the computer hand. Michael's got a big suited connector, Queen Jack of Diamonds. Saul folds. Michael's going to make the call.
2,000?
Mike's going to make a 2,500 to go. Chuck folds, and here we go. Like I said, Chad's got ace 9 hearts. He moves all in for 7,100. It's going to take 4,600 for Michael to call. But again, this is going to cost him about 30% of his stack to make this call. And he calls. So we've got Queen Jack of Diamonds for Michael, Ace 9 of Hearts for Chad. And the flop comes 10-8 floor. It gives Michael an inside straight draw. A 9 would give him a straight. The turn, 5 so far. He's going to need a queen, a jack, or a 9 to take Chad out of the tournament. It's a 5. So the ace high Chad's going to double up with the ace high. You can breathe, pal. You can take another life. You're still in it. But even if he wasn't, ladies and gentlemen, really, we still have 3 more extra day ones. You can take another shot at it. Now, I say that because your initial entry into this is complimentary for you as a member. If you would like to rebuy into it, you can do so for each of the day ones. Also, this is a best bag tournament. So if you do enter in multiple day ones, your best bag going into day 2 will be the one we carry forward. So you can take multiple shots at this. Moving along to the next hand, we got to have Michael underneath the gun. Now, Michael is still in the Mendoza mine. He's got Queen 6. He's going to fold. It looks like it may get folded around to Matthew. And Matthew, look at this. He's got the Pointer Sisters. He's got pocket queens. And he calls. It's going to let in JR with King 9 of clubs. It's going to let him in. Steve's going to call with King 6. And you got Saul with the Doyle Breads and 10 deuce. We're going to take 4 to the flop. But Matthew here with pocket queens. And the flop reads, wow, this could get something. JR has top pair with a flush draw with the flop coming 3-9-7. Matthew's going to lead out again for 2,000, but I don't think JR is going to go anywhere. He's got top pair and a flush draw. He's going to smooth call this. And I think Steve is going to fold, and Saul's definitely going to fold this. Here we go to the turn. The board pairs sevens. It still gives the queens a big favorite, but he's going to check the queens. JR is going to lead up for 3,000. And Matthew's like, no, I'm time to put the foot on the gas. He's going to raise it to 10,000. Is JR going to take a stand now? He knows he has Matthew covered. He's trying to get a chip count out of his chips. Got a big hand. He's got top pair with a flush draw and an overcard. Is he thinking about putting them all in? And he lays it down, folks. I know it was a big draw. He did flop top pair. He did have the flush draw. But again, he realizes that knowing that once that raise came in, if he doesn't make his hand on the flop, he's not going to be able to get any more out of this. And he's realizing he still had, even though, yes, he still had 47,000, he was still over about 37,000. If it doesn't get there, or perhaps if it was the queen of clubs where he makes his flush and makes queens full, it could have been a disaster. Moving right along to our next hand, as we got Bob as our dealer here. Forgive his head, folks. He forgot to shave this morning. I told him, obviously, make sure that he uses a clean razor, and so that way he doesn't leave any stubble. Didn't quite happen that way, so we forgive him for that. Forgive the shine if it comes off of his head. I'll remind him, obviously, make sure we put some suntan oil on that thing. Anyway, moving right along, we're going to next hand. We got Chuck under the gun. He's got 6-7 off. It's going to fold. I think it's going to probably fold across to Matt, who's got King Jack off. He's going to lay this down. You got Sean. Sean's got Ace Jack. I think, look, he's going to put in a raise. It's going to get JR fold, Sean folds. It's going to get folded around to Saul, who got the 98 O's. He's got 9-8 off in the small blind. He's going to smooth call this. Michael with the 8-4 fold. So here we go to the flop. You got the Ace Jack versus 9-8 off. Here's the flop. Oh wow, here we go. You got Saul with a pair and a straight draw. You got Sean with an open-ended straight draw. Here's the turn. 4 in the turn, nothing there. Saul's first to act. He's got a pair and an inside straight draw. Saul's gonna lead out for 1,500. Saul's gonna smooth call this to the river. And it's a 10. Saul's got the best hand. They're gonna check it down. It looks like Saul with 10s and 9s are gonna take this. Saul has been making his way up the chip count. Obviously, he was somewhere in the middle of the pack, I believe. Now he's the chip leader at our feature table here. Again, we are coming down to about 2 minutes of this level. As you can see, Saul is our chip leader right now with just over 63,000. Michael is in the danger level here with a little over 11,000 in chips, and the blinds are about to go up again. So again, sometimes you're going to have to make moves you really don't want to in regards to this, but in a tournament form like this, blinds are going to keep going up. So you're going to have to make bigger decisions early and often, especially with these blinds going up. And again, with the number of players we have today, we're going to take, if the numbers are right, we're going to take 12 to day 2. Dealing the next hand, Chad's going to be under the gun. Again, Chad barely saved through, is barely right with that double up. It's going to fold across. You got Matthew here with Acey Deucey. He's going to lay that down. It's going to get folded across. Steve's got queen 5. You got Saul on the button with queen 6. He's going to fold, so it's going to come down to a battle of the blinds. Michael calls with Motown Jacks 5. Chuck's got 10-6, going to check it. We're going to see a flop. The flop comes down 9, Jack, King 2 spades. Michael's flopped the second pair. Chuck has a straight draw. Turns a 4, no help to either player. Michael's going to lead out, bet 1,500. And Chuck's going to fold. Mike holding on. Mike barely holding on, but he's been able to get some fortunate flops that's going to be able to keep him in the tournament.
17 seconds. Thank you.
And it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, that we are literally ticking down at the end of level 8. As you can see, Chuck, even though he has had a conservative style, he has raised more than anybody here. Saul is secondary, but honestly, because of the big pocket pairs we have. And we are now at level 9, ladies and gentlemen, with blinds that are going to be, blinds are now going to be 500, 1,000 with 1,000 big blind Andy. That means, folks, it is going to be 2,500 chips around going for this next blind level. Matthew on the gun with King 3 suited folds. Sean folds. JR with Queen 10. Queen 10 off. He's going to smooth call this. Steve with the AC Deucey and the hijack. He's going to call. Michael has ace 4. Chuck's going to call, and Chad's going to check this down with the 8-6 offsuit. We got 4 players going to this flop in this last line level. We got this in before the blind level change. Oh wow, this is going to be big. Michael Franklin has trip 4s. JR has top pair. Michael bets 2,000. It gets, excuse me. JR bets 2,000. Michael's going to smooth call with the 4s. The turn to 6, no help. JR bets 3,000. Michael moves all in for 9,900. It's going to put JR to a decision. It's only going to cost him 6,900 to call. That's a little less than, it's going to be about 15% of a stack. And he lays down top pair. These two gentlemen I have dealt a lot to in this room, and you can tell one is JR is a very disciplined player. When he doesn't feel like he has the best hand, he's not going to put any chips in the pot. Michael is a very solid player, so he's going to lead out, and he did go all in for the rest of his stack. He knows, obviously, he's going to go in with the goods every time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes. Now, excuse me, the blind level's gone up. We are going to be playing with 500 small blind, 1,000 big blind, 1,000 big. Oh, I take that back. I do apologize. We're still on this level. Forgive me. Forgive me in regards to this. We're still at 400, 800, 800 big blind level. Actually, going to be on for Sean. He's going to be at his 9-6. He's going to fold. JR with the computer hand Queen 7. He's going to fold. Steve got ace 4 off. He's going to lay this. Is he going to lay this down? Yeah, he lays it down. Saul's got 5. Wolver's 5 and dime. Michael with jack to spades. He's going to call. Chad's going to move in with the king jack off. But Matthew has ace queen. But he's asking Michael to look at his stack. This is a tough decision. If he calls this, he's gonna re-raise. He's gonna move all in. Michael's gonna fold. So here we go. Chad's putting his tournament life at risk again. He's got king jack. Matthew's got ace queen. Matthews is about a $1.50 favorite. The flop comes 6-8-8. He's going to need 2 cards. He's going to either need a king or a jack. The 5 of spades is no help. It's going to either be a king or a jack, or Chad's out. It's a deuce. And Chad has been eliminated out of day 1E. Thank you, Chad, for playing. Obviously, we got 3 more day 1s left. So you get a chance. You want to fire it again. You can definitely do it with the remaining 3 days of the day 1 left. So we've lost our first player from the feature table. Chad that made a valiant effort here, but honestly, he came down with that king jack. Kojak just didn't hold up for him, and the ace queen held up going forward. All right, we're going as we move on to our next hand. Again, everyone, this is a free tournament. That's right. This was a free roll to all the members as we welcome in regards on the opening of the Poker House of Dallas. I know this tournament has been a long time coming for all of us, as well as for the poker community here in Dallas, and we're very proud and happy to be a part of it. So, moving on to the next hand. Steve's got 7-6 off. He's going to make the call. Saul's got king 2. He's probably got king. Yeah, excuse me. Got king 2. He's going to lay this down. Michael's got queen 6. He's going to fold. Chuck's going to smooth call with the suited connector. 10-9 of diamonds. Math with ace 5 and the Sean with jack 6. He's going to wrap the table. We're going to see a flop. The flop comes down deuce, ace 10, 2 spades. Matthew's flop top pair. Chuck's flop second pair. It gets checked around. Chuck's going to lead out with second pair. Wow. Matt fold top pair. And Chuck is going to win this pot with a post-flop aggression. That's something else. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. You saw somebody fold top pair after 1 bet. That takes a lot of discipline, folks. And obviously, when you're out of position, sometimes, even though you've hit your hand on the flop, it could really not still be the best, even though it is top pairing. There were 2 spades on the board. There was a straight draw that's there. Obviously, the board texture sometimes can be the reason why that just a dry pair may not be good enough. Moving right along in the pad, we got Steve under the gun. He's got jack 4 off. He's going to probably fold. Saul with 3 deuce off. He's going to lay this down. Michael's probably going to, you got Chuck. We got jack 10. He's been opening very wide all of a sudden. He's going to make the raise. Uh-oh, but look at this. Sean's got the double rulers, the 2 big guys. He's got pocket kings.
3 raises to 5,500.
And he makes the big raise to 5,500. JR with the 9-8 is going to fold. So now it's back to Chuck. He's got jack 10 offsuit with 3,500 to call. And he smooth calls. So here we go. We got jack 10 versus pocket kings. And the flop. Oh, wow. Sean has flopped the top set, and Chuck has flopped the second pair. Sean bets out 6,100. Will Chuck continue? He only has second pair, and he's going to lay this down. Fortunate flop, and I think if anything, Sean might have made a smaller bet. But the board texture, you got 2 spades. Yeah, you got 2 spades. There's a straight draw possibly in a couple different areas. And the best, obviously, to make a play with it, take down a pot. Again, I'm going to say if any of you have any questions for me, my name is Craig. We're more than happy to assist you in regards on any questions you may have with this. Hey, and look who has come in, the man, the myth, the legend himself. We got downtown Smokey Brown that's coming in the building right now. Hey, Smokey, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing really good. I appreciate the nickname. My brother kind of stole the downtown nickname. I don't refer to myself, but use uptown rather than downtown for me.
Uptown, okay.
There you go, uptown.
So, I mean, this is Saturday, so is it going to be an Uptown Saturday Night Smoke?
I hope so. Things are popping off here at Poker House Dallas. I just walked through the main room, and I think we got 6, 7, 8 cash games going. I've seen several all-ins, chips. We needed chips all over the place, so the action is nuts out there right now. I've been over at Ticket Stock, the event center in Plano. The Ticket, we are at their event. We have a booth set up. It's the first big bright red booth when you walk in. It was electric over there. We had people playing tournaments. We have little sit-and-go tournaments going on where you can win like little fire pits and all kinds of cool stuff. So
oh, wow.
If you're out in Plano, go by the event center. Check us out at Ticket Stock. They are serving cold adult beverages. There will be a concert there tonight. Just a whole lot of fun stuff going on over there. But I'm finally back. I'm going to join you here for a little bit. We have another special guest with me, Mr. Jason. Jason, you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Jason actually played in the tournament yesterday, and you bagged. How many chips did you bag, Jason?
151 case money.
Oh, wow.
151,000. So you're in a great spot coming back day 2. We don't know what the blind's going to be in day 2 yet. We've got to get through all the day 1s, but you're in a good spot. You were actually on the live stream. I commentated some of it. Good job. Tell us a little bit about your past experiences, who you are. I'm gonna pass this mic over to Jason here, so let him introduce himself.
That's right. Jason, come on in, man.
Awesome. What's up, Craig?
How you doing, Jason, man? I saw you on the. I think I came in on the back end of your play. Obviously, you made a bunch of strong moves. You took advantage of position very well, and it obviously looks like you've had enough chops about playing both live cash games and tournaments that you've been able to take advantage. And you probably have seen this since you've probably played all over, the difference between poker on the West Coast in California, in Nevada, Arizona, and poker in Texas. You know,
yeah,
what do you think?
No, absolutely. I spent a lot of time in Florida. I spent a lot of time in Vegas and Atlantic City, so I played all over the country. I played the World Series for 2 decades almost. A lot of experience playing live poker, and man, I really enjoy everything going on right here in the room here. This is one of the most comfortable, fun rooms I've played in a long time.
Oh, that's glad to be here. So, what do you mean? Obviously, you had a chance to be. How long have you been in town to been able to play in the room?
So, I drove out here this weekend from Vegas, and looking to spend some time out here in Dallas and play as much poker as I can out here. I really enjoy it out here.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you here. Obviously, it's funny you mentioned that. I actually just moved back from Vegas. I spent, of all things, the COVID year out there. It had always been one of my dreams to live out there. And of course, I picked the 1 year in the history of life that after 3 months, the governor shuts the state down. So
yeah, that was a tough year for poker out there. But.
Oh, absolutely. I know it was. From what I saw, I think a couple rooms closed. I know Mandalay Bay closed.
Yeah, there was actually over 10 rooms that closed out in Vegas during COVID, pretty much.
Wow.
So, yeah, they were shut down quick, but it's definitely coming back. It's coming back all over the country right now, and it feels like it's booming out all over Texas right now. So
absolutely, I know it's like, well, if anything, it's like when it's called Texas Hold'em, it's kind of hard to not have it where it's as big and electric as it is. And if anything, I've dealt some of the games out here, whether it be on any of our levels, where we 1, 2, 2, 5, and you could probably attest to this, that some of the levels here where our 1, 2, and 2, 5 games play bigger than what they really are. What do you think?
No doubt. Yeah. No. I mean, I noticed that. That's a big difference between Texas and Vegas so far. Is the action out here is it's a lot more electric. I mean, and especially the smaller limits. The 1-2 plays like a 2-5. The 2-5 plays like a 5-10. Everyone splashes around and has a good time and gambles out here. And I just like the feel of the games out here a lot.
That's good to know. So it's like, you've been out. You're out here in Vegas. You were out in Vegas. Now you're out in Dallas. You had a chance to play this. In comparison to what you usually see on a daily basis, because I'm pretty guessing you probably play pretty consistently when you're out in Vegas. What's your home casino out there?
Man, I move around. I've been moving around for about 15 years from casino to casino. I played a lot of Venetian. I played a lot of Bellagio and Aria. I used to play real high stakes cash earlier in my 20s, and I used to play a lot more tournaments when I was younger. And Now I'm just looking for something new and fresh, and that's why I came out here to Dallas.
Well, we're glad to have you here, man. It's like, I know it's like, it seems like the migration of a lot of people that are coming from the West Coast out here to Texas is not just in industry, it's in poker, especially when the name is Texas Hold'em.
Oh, no doubt.
You're only going to get it better than this. So, aside from that, what's your next play here? Are you going to try to maybe have this as bi-coastal? Maybe come out and be out here in Vegas in the spring, maybe out here in the winter. What do you think?
Sure. I mean, I'm still probably going to be pretty loyal to the World Series. That's kind of like the grand.
The granddaddy of it all.
Yeah. So that's my summertime. But yeah, no, I plan on spending a lot of time split between Vegas, and Florida, and Texas. And like I said, there's poker booming all over the country right now, especially now that COVID's ending and things are getting settled. A lot of people want to get out and gamble and play poker again. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of options all over the country to play.
Oh, that's excellent. Obviously, I'm not gonna talk you to death. Obviously, we're gonna try to turn to a little bit of the action here. So,
You're good.
But we're gonna turn back to the action here. We got coming under the spot here. You got Steve with Queen 10 off. He's gonna make this call here. You got Michael with the Ace 5. He's gonna check this. We're gonna see a flop. Flop's going to come down 7, 9, King, 2 hearts. Action's going to be under Michael. You got to have JR with a 2-way straight draw. Deuce of hearts on the turn. So now JR's going to pick up a 2-way straight draw and a flush draw. It's going to get checked around. JR's going to have option. I probably see with that many draws, he's going to probably make a play of this. What do you think, Jason?
Yep, there you go. He's got the position. He's betting, and it's pretty likely he's going to take the spot down right here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people that's like, from what I've seen, what I've been on the stream with us, the table has been very conservative. Aside from, a few plays here and there hasn't been much angling to be able to try to make hero plays, try to play out of position. And obviously, you've attested from years of poker, and you'd say position is everything. I think position and aggression.
Position is everything. The better position you have, the cards mean less and less. So.
So you said 15 years in the game of poker, huh?
About 16, 17. Yeah. No, I've been doing it for a long time, and I've had a lot of success. I've played high stakes cash for a long time. I played a lot of tournaments for a long time, and I just had a wild ride. I've loved it since the beginning.
Have you run into have you had any skirmishes on the Felf with any of the big name players that we might know of because of television poker in the early 2000s and 2010s? Ivy, Negrani, Helmuth, Brunson, Ted Forrest.
I know almost every one of them on a first name basis, and I've gotten into them over and over with every one of them for years and years. So, but they're all good guys. They've all done a good job of marketing themselves and being good ambassadors for the game. So, I got nothing negative to say about anyone really. So.
Oh, that's good to know. So here's my real question, because obviously, when it comes to poker and Dallas, considering for the 50+ years of the main event, no one's won the main event from Texas since Doyle Brunson won.
Really?
In 72 and 73.
I didn't know that.
David Williams was the closest in 04 when he lost heads up to Raymond. And I think, and this is just me, since he was runner-up at the main event of the World Series, a couple years later, he won the Season 9 WPT World Championship. He's from Dallas. And with the things that have been around Dallas, with the rims and everything else, I think, if only just the fact for him to come back out, represent Dallas in some way or part, be a part, come out here. I mean, that's just me.
Sure.
I think that would be, if anything. I know
David's a great player. He reads really well, and he's real smart, maneuvers well post flop. So it'd be pretty cool to see him around here.
From what I've seen a couple of documentaries in regards to this, it said that he got his first forage into cards by Magic the Gathering.
Yep. I have actually probably have a handful of friends, maybe 5 to 10 friends that all got that same start with David. So that's pretty interesting.
I can only imagine so.
Everyone's got some link to poker from some sort of gambling before poker. Usually, it's either pool or some card game or something.
I won't lie. For mine, it was Rounders.
Yeah.
I started watching. I think myself. In that, I guess from not to state my age, but we were in that point where I was in college, and Rounders had just came out with Matt Damon and Edward Norton, and we got the big bonus pack, and with that movie, it allowed you to not only see the movie, but then you got to see with Matt and Edward Norton play in the World Series main event, and it actually ended up showing the final table. Well, I like to say the somewhat final table. We couldn't see the whole cards back then, but that's when we saw Scotty win, and everybody knows, baby. You know when Scotty want to play, baby, like baby, when you know, and then everybody remembers the phrase. It's like when he said to Kevin McBride, "You call this, it'll be all over, baby."
My first year playing the main event, I was on the feature table on day one with Scotty.
Wow, how is that?
He was he's quite the character. He was drinking, he was having fun, and he ended up being chip leader on day one. That was the year that he. I think he was chip leader with 10 left and got 10th in the main event.
Oh wow! Wait, I can remember that it was a couple years when he had. It was, I want to say, not maybe 08, 09 maybe?
Might have been 07.
I remember because he had such a great run.
Yeah.
And with 11, he was chip leader with 11 players left.
He got a little too inebriated.
I know. And it was Philip Helm. He was a pro out of Austria.
Yes, I remember.
And he got him both times. He tried to make a move on Helm both times.
That's good memory.
It tells you I watch a lot of poker, folks. But I'm like, Scotty, I've been a big fan of his. Scotty Wayne, I don't know if you know anything about him, but if you ever get a chance to see him through social media or anything else, and he says baby to everybody, doesn't matter. I got a chance to meet him. I was working at a hotel in downtown Dallas. He was staying there. A bunch of the pro teams, both the Mavs and the Stars, they had a big charity poker tournament.
Sure.
He was staying there with us. He walked in, and I shook his hand, and he walked off, and I said, "Good luck, Scotty." He said, "Turn on. Thank you, baby."
Thank you, baby. If you play poker with him, he'll tell you stories about his pet monkey, all kinds of stuff. He's a wild character.
I know, it's something else crazy. I mean, if anything, he came at a point where he, I would say, aside from Doyle and Phil Hellmuth, he was one of those he was the flash and dash when it came to poker amongst Las Vegas. And obviously, he wore all those chains. He wore sunglasses at the table and everything. And everybody remember when he won. A lot of people don't realize that Mike Mattisau was in the crowd when he won.
There you go. That's right. Yeah, they're pretty good friends. I mean, a lot of the big TV guys that you know from early 2000s stuff, they're all close friends. They all came up together. Negreanu and Ivy and all those guys. I mean, they all learned the game together, and you see it a lot. You see little cliques like that all through the country in small pockets all over. But that's kind of what it's become.
Yeah, absolutely. Although it's funny, as amongst you, when you mentioned cliques, I know when it came to the Crew, you had John Jawanda, Daniel Negreanu, Phil Ivey, and one of my favorite players that a lot of people doesn't get a lot of credit for because I always thought his poker intelligence was amazing, Alan Cunningham.
Cunningham was a great player. Yep.
It's something about his poker intelligence to be able to read almost every situation and so much. And people forget, honestly, like for him, when he finished fourth in 06, I mean, that's fourth out of 8,873 people. I mean, they said there was more people in that main event than the first 32 combined.
I played a funny hand against him when I busted the main event in my early 20s. And I'm in the 1 seat and he's in the 9 seat. And I'll never forget the hand because I busted the hand. I'll never forget the hand. But he raises and I shove on top for maybe, I don't know, 18 big blinds or so with ace king. And he tanks and he says he saw one of my cards, which was bizarre to me. I mean, ever since that, I've been so overly protective about my cards. But he ends up calling off with deuces.
Wow.
Like 2/3 of a stack because he claimed he saw an ace in my hand.
Wow.
And I'll never forget that. It stuck with me for years. And that's how I busted. And he got the cleanest run out with pocket deuces.
Wow.
And man, was that a brutal day for me.
That is, well, he called you down with deuce. I mean, the smallest pocket pairs. So he literally, if there was a 50.1, 40.9, 49.99 on the flop, that was it.
But no, he's got sharp reads. He's a real intelligent player, and man, that whole generation really was. It was they really kind of shaped poker back in the early 2000s. So.
Absolutely. So moving forward with that, the poker generation now, it seems it has gone through a lot of. It's a lot more analytical and structured. I've seen a lot of, I know in my regards, aside from the podcast, guys like Jonathan Little, and obviously with guys like Brad Owen and Andrew Mimi and Doug Polk.
All good friends of mine, yeah.
They've taken poker where it's become more analytical, scientific, and structured as opposed to playing time. And don't get me wrong, it's like I came to the point where we were fortunate enough to be in that internet level where you got a lot of people that were fortunate enough in some cases that they made a living just playing online when all of the big poker sites were available. Now that they're not, or in some cases, unless you have to go abroad in some situations where you have to go out of the United States into Canada, into Mexico, or out of the immediate 48 and be able to play elsewhere, they've been able to pick up so much more knowledge and create that, I like to say, that calculated mindset when you come to play. I know I hear a lot with players here. They'll be like, "Well, it should have done this, but I didn't really think about this because of the 3x max." I'm like, and I'm sitting there going, I just would have folded because I only had second pair.
Well, I mean, there's a real good balance between these training sites and your thought process as a poker player when you're actually in the game. They try to push analytics and the numbers and everything to teach people the fundamentals really good, but if you're playing live poker, there's a pretty good balance between reading and the fundamentals of the game. And they push the fundamentals pretty hard, but I mean, a lot of what you learn is experience and being at the poker table and reading people in situations, and there's a lot to learn in that too. I mean, it's not all numbers, it's not all math, it's not all robotic. How they kind of push nowadays with these training sites, but yeah, it all helps. It's all good information. There's no bad information out there. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's good enough because I know a lot of friends for a long time in college. They did all these multi-tabling where they play like four. Oh,
looks like we got a hand.
Oh, we got a big hand here, so.
What's going on?
Oh yeah, we got a real big hand. We got ace jack suited, ace 10, and then pocket tens. And you got Sean with the 3-bet. Oh wow, Michael's gonna move it all in with ace jack. Well, Chuck called with the ace 10.
He's got 61K. He's got a pretty decent stack.
I think he may end up taking a chance to try to put them both all in.
I don't know. I haven't seen any hands with him, so I'm not sure how he plays.
He's been pretty tight most of the time, Jason. But honestly, with the big stack to try to take out two players at this feature table, it might just come to that.
It's still only 8 big blinds for him, so he might take a little shot, and it looks like he is.
He's going to make a smooth call here against Sean. It's going to cost him $1,300 to make this call, and under those numbers, he's going to get 3-1 against everything.
Yep, and there's going to be a little side pop between them.
He's all in for the same amount. That's it, right? He's still at 6. We have action on the side.
Here we go down to a flop. Uh-oh. Hide the women and children. Sean has flopped 30 miles, and you got Michael with a pair and a straight draw, Chuck with bottom pair and the same straight draw.
Where in the world did the 10 of spades come from?
I know, right? And Sean's going to shove it all in with bottom set. Chuck's going to fold.
He's going to be in pretty good shape.
Drawing 4 outs above this. I'm like, you got 30 miles of Saginaw. You just got to avoid a queen. Oh, yeah, it's over, folks. He's made 10s full of kings.
Oh, he's still got the jack.
Oh, that's right.
Out.
He does the king or the jack. Nope. 10's full is going to hold up, and Michael Franklin has been eliminated. Michael is a solid player. I know. I've seen him and dealt him a lot of the hands, plays a lot of the cash games here. Knowing him, he will probably come and play another day one here, if I'm not mistaken, Smokey.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet he's out there beating up on everybody at the cash game right now.
So now we are sitting 6-handed as we are at the blind levels where 500, 1,000 big blind, 1,000 big blind ante, which means, folks, that means it is 2,500 chips every round. I mean, Jason, you can attest to this. When you get down to that 15, 20 big blind level,
sure.
Does your mindset change across knowing that? Are you going to just try to make plays when you can? Are you going to try to go literally? You're just going to throw the Hail, pick up a big ace, or a pocket player throw the Hail Mary it all in? I mean, what's your approach to it?
It kind of depends on what stage of the tournament you're at too. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Like when you're earlier in early stages and you're short stacked. I mean, you're really just trying to look for ways to build your stack back up. And later in the tournament, when the average stack gets down to like 15, 20 big blinds, I mean, you're really trying to look for spots to steal and be really careful and look for weakness in players. I mean, last night when we were towards the bubble, That's that's total different ideas than or mentality than right here at this stage of the tournament. You're looking to pick up a pot every orbit if you can, and you're looking to find any kind of opening you can just to steal a pot. At this point, let's see here.
Oh, it was here. We got Chuck with third pair. You got Steve with top pair. You got Saul with a pair and a two-way straight draw.
Looks like it must have been a limp pot from the get in there with 5 deuce.
And Saul with in position of like Saul's picked up, and like since I've been in this ring, he's picked up 3 big pocket pairs. That's who's able to acquire a stack. And you probably peel one out too with the pair and the two-way straight draw.
Yeah, no doubt.
But the 7 on the river here, as long as it doesn't get bluffed off, Steve's going to pick up this pot. No bluff, dude. Honestly, he made a play once with the hand. I won't say one with 7 deuce, but he ended up with 3 overcards on the board, and he got there. But obviously, this was about 2 hands after he showed the table pocket 10s. Sure. So if anything, he took advantage of his position.
Image is so important in tournaments. I mean, especially when you're later in tournaments. I mean, this is about the stage now that it's 2,500 around where pots start to matter a lot more. So picking up small pots matters more. At the beginning, you're looking to just kind of make hands and play position and earn stacks slowly.
Well, if anything, it looks like that we're going to be on break. And it looks like we're going to be on a 10-minute break, folks. We're going to have a whole new set of players coming up. So if anything, we're going to be on a small break, but please don't go away. Keep it up and going. I got myself, Smoky Uptown Brown will come in. We got the fabulous Jason from fabulous Las Vegas coming in. Be able to be